Let's get some more perspective on this. Mr. Girish from Canfin Homes is now with us. So, what is your perspective on the story that my colleague just broke? Do you expect more incentives, especially for budget home buyers, in the upcoming budget?
Good afternoon. I think there's a lot of focus on housing, from this government since last few years, and I hope this will continue in future as well. I think if you look at mortgage penetration in India, it's very low. It's at about 10-11%, which is very low compared to some of the countries. And therefore, I think there is a need now that we need to focus a lot more than what we did before, and even the thrust from government is to that extent as such. And therefore, we expect, I think, a lot of changes, rather improvements compared to what all schemes we had in last couple of years in terms of housing. So first of all, we expect that the allocation increases, budgetary allocation for affordable housing increases because there's a lot of demand, huge demand. And I think as a set of financial institution or government is not able to meet all those needs, and therefore the allocation has to improve. And number two, in terms of the definition of affordable housing, because we have different definition, with different sets. So I think that we need to standardize and simplify so that the delivery becomes easy. So we expect, I think, some bit of sops to the developers to cover more projects so that affordable would really become affordable, would become more affordable, and we'll be able to cover most of the population, to own a house. Because housing for all by 2022, if the dream has to be fulfilled, I think we should do many things. And if you look at because there are so many criteria, one is the income criteria, second is the area criteria. I think that we may have to standardize and simplify so that we really genuinely cover a lot of customers who are indeed eligible for affordable housing finance. And certain things for the developers, probably some kind of tie-up between the state government and the developer, so that there is some allotment of land to the developers for affordable housing projects per se, and also some concession in the tax, both for the developers and also to the consumers who avail loan. Affordable has to be really affordable to the customers because cost of construction obviously is increasing, and therefore we need to cover that by increasing the limit. In terms of subsidy, in terms of increasing the income levels to cover more customers, and at the same time give some tax sops to the developer. I think there are many things what could be done, and even on the IT front, for the consumer, we can try and see if we can try and increase the limit on interest principal and the special amount of 50,000. So I think we can work on many things. I'm sure this time, there'll be something interesting for the housing industry as such.
Well, that's definitely the hope that there'll be something interesting for the housing sector. But let me play devil's advocate and ask you, because you are saying that the demand momentum is very strong. Well, is there a case to suggest that overall demand momentum itself will take care of the sector, and the historic support that we have seen from the budget coming into the housing sector may actually taper down, given the fact that the sector dynamics will take care of itself?
It's also a question of affordability. Today we are talking about affordability being at the highest because interest rates are the lowest, and property prices, property as a market, real estate market has stabilized, right? Income levels have gone up in last few, but you should see what percentage of the population. If we are talking about affordable, we need to try and cover as many people as possible, and therefore it is important that we create an environment where we try and deliver affordable houses at affordable rates to consumers as soon as possible, and only then you will see that this dream being fulfilled, and also our penetration, which is very low today, will go. If you look at the housing industry compared to last year, compared to last year, maybe compared to last 3 years, whatever, we will definitely grow. The industry will grow. Industry will grow at about maybe this year 11-12% because we had tough 2 years. After that, maybe 13-14% as a standard norm, but that may not be enough. That may not be enough because the demand is so huge, the gap is so extreme. For example, MIG was stopped in last March, and there's so much of demand. right? I think that has to be continued. I think we have to look at that aspect. So if you have to cover the gap between demand and supply, I think much more things needs to be done, in this budget.
Sure, that point is absolutely taken. So there is this gap between the affordability, and that is the key thing that we will watch out for in the budget as well. Thank you so much for speaking with